Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Expeditions Viking. Alright, let's go talk to Hanner Asbjarnarson. Asbjarnarson. I'll get some of these eventually. Rive's most central blacksmith is well renowned for his broad knowledge of metalworking. He can forge a sword as readily as he can mend a broken pot. While one of his apprentices bangs away at something near the furnace, the smith himself meets you in the yard outside.
Well met, my beautiful thane. Have you come to commission a weapon from the best smith north of Saxony?
Do you sell arms and armor? Let's talk about what kind of equipment you can make. Let's take a look at your stock of materials. Do you sell arms and armor?
In a manner of speaking, I build such items to order. You can bring me the materials I need, and I will make whatever equipment you require. For such jobs, I charge only the fee for my labor. Of course, I also have a stock of materials for sale.
Let's talk about what kind of equipment you can make.
Very good. Will there be anything else today?
Uh-oh. I hope I don't sink into the earth when this is done. Well, I did just save it. Alright, so maybe that's not available right now. Okay, so we can... let's see, wood, you don't have any. Medicine, you don't have any. Herbs, you don't have any. Slaves, you don't have any. The trader is not interested in the resource. This vendor has disagreeable prices. Alright, salvage. Alright, so this is all the resources there rather than the other things like iron and cloth and stuff. A valuable trade resource can be used for crafting. So I've got 32 salvage. High demand for valuables. Wow, 75 valuables for one salvage. No, I think I will pass on that. Alright, so hides are a little bit more valuable than salvage to him. I'm not going to trade, though. I'll be back if I need anything. I thought I'd be able to get better tools from him. But apparently not. Alright, well, that's okay. Herbs. Some tar. Can't actually go in there. That is someone's house, apparently. Maybe they'll be outside. That is owned. That is owned.
I've been thinking, It's just... It feels like as though we always talk about the same things. What do you mean? Well, it's like there's never anything new to talk about. We're just moving in circles. It's all in your head. You're overthinking things.
I bet if we stayed here, they wood do that again. That's pretty amusing. Poison, wood, and salvage. Hey, 2 salvage right there. Some meat. And nothing in that barrel. Well, maybe I can trade meat for other stuff. Nothing in that basket. Nope, something here. Barrel. Some cloth. That is owned. That is not. Bladder and meat. Some rope there. More meat, tar, and extracts. Pole and honey. Over here we got some cloth, powder, and meat. Very nice. Alright, so we've gotten to the burnt area again. Oh, there is a crate here. String and valuables. Alright, we can go in there. I'm going to hold off on that for now. I would like to continue looting the town first. Some more tar. Meat and tar. Some grease. Some rope. Trash pile that I can't interact with. A basket with medicine in it and rations. Some more valuables. A vial and a pot. And some more barrels. What do you got for me? Some tar. And nothing. Of course. That basket had nothing. That basket has cloth and string. And over here, a pot. Oops. I missed a barrel here. Tar, cloth, and meat. And these wood boards are clipping into the ground a little bit. Yardar Yarnskegason. I think I found the market. Pot and cloth. Herbs, valuables, and a pot. Some cork. Pole. Pot, more valuables. Nice. Powder and meat. Powder. Wood and grease. It'd be pretty cool if we got enough valuables from all of this to make up for those equipment purchases we made. Tar and poison. Nothing in those sacks. I can go in... Oh, this is probably the, that other quest. You know, I don't actually have an active quest right now. The frail one. Let's set that as the active market. Yep. Alright, well, before we go in, let's see if there's anything else in the yard. No, not really. Alright. In we go. Well, I can loot that. I'll take those 2 rations. I will take that tool axe. A plate with some kind of sweet-smelling powder has been placed next to Freya's shrine, among the pile of precious jewelry sacrificed to the goddess of love, fertility, and war. The elaborately carved hammer on Thor's shrine has been almost worn away from many years of prayers to the god of strength, storms, and harvest. And I missed what this guy said. Nothing in the basket. Someone has carefully placed a fine old sword against Odin's shrine, no doubt hoping to win the favor of the god of wisdom, sorcery, and death. The Gydja is young, not much older than you. Her blonde hair is elaborately braided, and her brightly colored dress embroidered with complex religious patterns. She greets you with a polite but distant smile, in a strangely breathy voice.
Welcome, my name is Swanna. I am Gydja here at the temple. Is this your first time visiting?
Yes, I've never had occasion to enter this house before. I think I may have come here with my father a long time ago. I'll go with that option.
Then we're honored to host you again. Have you come to petition the gods?
I need medicine for a sick friend. She nods politely, looking through you as if her mind is somewhere else.
We are always happy to help. Please describe the illness. She has a deep, awful cough and a fever. She's been bedridden for many weeks. Can you help her?
I thought we were coming here to get a specific thing that they had waiting that someone just needed to come pick up. The Gydja maintains her vacant stare.
Yes, I hope, but I need moldy bark from the troll tree.
Where does this tree stand?
Look for the patches of yellow-green mold on its trunk. If you bring me that bark, I will use it to make a cure for you.
Will you share a story about the gods? A twinkle in her eyes belies her vacant demeanor.
Of course. Shall I recount the ballad of Hymir, where mighty Thor pulls up the Midgar serpent?
Sounds perfect. Swanna slips seamlessly into the way of the old words, her voice taking on the rhythmic quality of a skald as she begins to recount the old ballad.
Long ago, the gods were eating their prey. In the mood for a drink, before they were full, they shook the sticks and looked at the lots. They learned that at Aegir's was a fine crop of cauldrons. Aegir, the cliff dweller, sat there, cheerful as a child. Thor, the son of Dread, defiant, stared him in the eye. Often you'll have to prepare drinking feasts for the Aesir. The word surly warrior gave trouble to the giant. He thought how next he might be revenged on the gods. Aegir asked Sif's husband to bring him a cauldron with which I can brew ale for you all. The far-famed gods of the great powers couldn't get one anywhere, till, because of close ties, Loki was able to offer much welcome advice to Thor alone. East of Elivagar dwells hugely wise Hymir at heaven's edge. My fierce father owns a pot, a capacious cauldron, a league deep.
That is a pretty big cauldron.
Do you know if we can get that brew kettle? If, friend, you two do it with cunning.
This tale's too long. I have places to be. No, I'll keep listening.
They traveled far away that day from Asgard, until they reached Egil's. He took care of the goats with their splendid horns, while they turned towards Hymir's hall. Loki met his granny, who seemed hateful to him. She had 900 heads. Another all-golden girl stepped ahead, bright-browed, to bring her son beer. Offspring of giants, I'd like to hide your brave pair under the pots. My lovely husband many a time has been mean and bad-tempered to guests. The man malice-shapen came back late. Hard-hearted Hymir, home from the hunt. When he walked in the hall, the icicles tinkled. The old guy's beard was frozen. Welcome, Hymir. In fine fettle. Now your son has come home to your halls, one we've both missed on his long travels. Rod's anniversary has come along with him. A fighter's friend, Thor is his name. See where they sit beneath the hall gable, protecting themselves with the pillar in the front? The pillar split at the giant's gaze, and the pillar beam broke in two. 8 pots split, but one of them, fire-hardened, fell down whole from the post. They walked ahead, but the ancient giant followed his enemy with his eyes. His heart sank when he saw the griever of giantesses walk across the floor. Then 3 bulls were taken up. The giant had them quickly boiled.
Boiled bulls.
Each one was made shorter by a head before being born to be cooked. Sif's husband ate, before going to bed, 2 of Hymir's oxen all on his own. To Hymir it seemed that Thor had had his fill. Tomorrow evening we'll have to go hunt for food to feed us 3. Thor said he wanted to row out to sea, if the brave giant would give him bait. Turn to the herds if you trust your guts, breaker of giants, to find some bait. I expect it will prove easy for you to find some sea bait from the oxen. The lad swiftly slipped off to the woods, where a jet-black ox stood ahead. The ogre exterminator broke from the bull the lofty high pasture of both horns.
I'm sorry, but I can't stay any longer. I'll keep listening.
The Lord of Goats told the offspring of apes to put the ship further out to sea, but the giant said that on his own reckoning he felt little urge to row further. Famed Hymir then soon caught, full of wrath, alone 2 whales on a hook, but back in the stern Odin's kin Thor cunningly laid out his line. He baited his hook, protector of men, the serpent soul slayer, with the ox's head. There gaped at the hook the one the gods hate, from below, the girdle of all lands. Deed-brave Thor mightily dragged the venom-stained serpent up to the gunwale. He struck from above with his hammer the horrible heads of the wolf's close-knit brother. The rock monsters groaned, the stone fields thundered, the ancient earth all moved together. Then that fish sank back into the sea. The giant was unhappy when they rowed back. Hymir didn't say a word at his oar. He steered a quite different course. Would you share out the work with me by either bringing the whales home to the house or tethering up our ship? Thor went and gripped the prow. He lifted up the sea steed, bilge and all, along with the oars and bilge baler. He carried to the house the giant's whales and the boat across the wood ridge. Yet still the giant, when it came to strength of arm, obstinately quarreled with Thor. He said no one was strong, although he could row robustly, unless he could smash his cup. But Thor, when it came to his hand, caused soon a stone column to shatter with the cup. From his seat he struck at the pillar, but they bore it back to Hymir in one piece, until the lovely sweetheart told him some useful advice that she knew. Hit it on Hymir's head when he's heavy with food. It's harder than any cup. The hardy lord of goats rose to his seat, summoned all his Aesir strength. The old man's head stayed whole above, but the round wine vessel was ruptured. Many a treasure has passed from me when I see the cup smashed out of sight. The old man spoke some more. I'll never say again, beer now you've brewed. It's up to you if you can take the ale kettle out of our home. Loki tried twice to stir the cauldron, stayed both times quite still. Oh, the cauldron, whatever. Now that the best part is over, I'll take my leave. Thor grabbed it by the rim, and his feet sank down into the floor of the hall. Sif's husband heaved the cauldron up on his head, and its rings jingled around his heels. I'll keep listening. I don't know how long this thing is. They journeyed long when Odin's son took a single look behind him. He saw from the rocks from the east with Hymir a mighty many-headed troop approached. He heaved the cauldron back down from his shoulders, brandished murder-loving Mjolnir, and killed all the vast giants. The strength mighty one came to the gods' assembly, bringing the cauldron that Hymir had owned, and the sacred ones shall drink well ale feasts at Aegir's at flax-cutting time. Over the course of the retelling, Swanna seemed to change into a different person. Her thoughts gathered back inside her head, and her voice became forceful and lively with the rhythms of the way of the old words. Now as her gaze drifts over her audience, the mild smile returns to her face, and she seems to sink a little. The tale is all over. Did you like it? It was great. Will you tell another? No, no. It was very good. Thank you. It was too long and hard to follow. I had heard it before. That will be nice. It was very good. Thank you. I'm always happy to tell the stories of the gods as they were told to me many times. Is there anything else you need? I'd like to make an offering. She opens her arms and gestures in a gesture that encompasses the two shrines at the sides of the room. We have shrines to Odin, Thor, and Freya here, but I am happy to accept offerings for any Aesir Vanir you wish to appease. Ooh. Your offering will be stored in the temple until the spring blot, where it will be added to the sacrifice. Of course, it's best if you can attend the blot yourself. Alright, 50 rations is... Ooh, ow. I don't think that I want to give up 50 rations right now. So, I can offer to Odin that he may grant me swiftness. Give an offering to Thor that I may be granted some of his strength. Wish to give an offering to Freya that she may protect me in battle. Give an offering to Tyr that I may be granted discipline. Grant an offering to Balder for good fortune. Or give an offering to Heimdallr that he may grant me vigilance. I must think on this. Yes, of course. Such decisions require careful deliberation. I may return soon. Alright. The troll tree in the marsh. Is that... I hope that's out here.
There was a tree, and there was a marsh. But I'm not sure if that's the troll tree. It appears to be out here. Oh. Oh, no, no. I think that is not on this map. Well, I might still go do that. Alright, let's see. Oops. Alright, that is still this way. Alright. Yes, let's go pay a visit. I can look at that. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we could steal. I'm not going to. Definitely don't have the finesse for it. I'll take those herbs, though. Herbs, rations, and a bladder.
You there, you look familiar. I would speak with you a moment.
Alright, Ingamar. The man before you has the bearing of a warrior, though age and comfort seems to have softened his edges. His hair and beard are graying, and the fine clothes he has squeezed into suit him poorly.
Yes, you must be the daughter of Ald. It's the nose that gives it away.
Really? Self-conscious about my nose now.
That's an amusing remark coming from you. The crows around here should be grateful to your face for such a fine place to perch.
For a moment the man's smile turns rigid, but then he composes himself. His eyes never leave you.
Were you a friend of my father? I feel that my nose lends a certain distinction to my face. I'll not shake your hand before I know your name.
That will be nice.
I am Ingamar Garrickson. I knew Ald. He was a fierce warrior, a friend, and he could hold his mead. I'm still here, but he fights and drinks with the Einherjar now.
Smile tugs at his bearded face.
Do me the honor of raising a horn of mead to his memory. My home is south of the marketplace. Tonight we drink and feast as new friends. I insist.
A friend of my father is a friend of mine. We'll gladly visit and drink to his memory.
Alright. New quest, one last drink. Ida the Shrieking. Oh, that sounds lovely. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go steal that stuff. Oh, I missed what she said. Well, let's talk to her. Ribe's town crier is an energetic young woman with fiery red hair. Her sharp features are dotted with freckles, and her smile spells mischief. Her trained voice carries easily across the din of the market. While that guy just walks along across this giant rock. Skald looks at you expectantly as you approach her.
Good morning, Honorable Thane.
Wow, you know who I am. What news lately?
She winks cheekily. Only what I've been shouting for hours. Frankish massacre in Saxony. Merchant looking to hire warriors. Scairn raided by Northmen. Did I miss anything?
Oh, I know what this massacre is. Tell me about that massacre.
It's grim news. The Christians appear dead set on converting all pagans to the worship of their own god, or else killing them. Thousands who resist the missionaries are dying on the tips of the Frankish spears. King Sigurdur has sworn that he will stop the Christian expansion and has promised aid to all Saxon refugees. Rumors abound that the king may assemble the Ledanger army and sail south to discourage any Frankish incursions into Jutland.
Scairn was raided, you say? People went missing in the marsh. I didn't hear about that.
Someone's looking to hire warriors?
She gestures toward the opposite side of the market.
Aye, Jarnskeggison stands over there for the third day in a row, asking any and all armed passers-by for their assistance. If you're open to such work, I'm sure he would love to tell you all about it.
Scairn was raided, you say?
So say reports from travelers along the road north. Northmen struck at night, but they say the beacons weren't lit. The people of Scairn fought back, defeated the raiders, and captured their leader. The surviving Northmen escaped on their ship.
I was there. What you've heard is accurate. I was there. Those raiders weren't so tough. I'll go with the first one.
Good thing you escaped with your life, then. If you're going back to Scairn, send my regards to the villagers.
Where might one find crew for a warship? She points off to the northwest towards the harbor.
Over yonder is a longhouse used by Jarl Ragnhilder's herd. Sellswords looking for hire often trained there with her warriors. People went missing in the marsh. She claps a hand to her mouth, eyes wide. Oh, yes, I'm glad you were listening. Ah, that must have been what she, said when I was going for the, sacks. Travelers in the marsh have been disappearing. Rumors of giants and lantern men are beginning to spread. Jarl Ragnhilder has offered a reward to anyone brave enough to investigate. Alright, just taking in the sights. The Skald spreads her arms and spins once around herself. Her cheer is almost too intense. Ribe is the beating heart of the West Coast. Remember to enjoy yourselves while you're here.
Alright, what else can I steal? I can steal that. Bladder, grease, and tar. Honey, extracts, and poison. Iron. Tar, grease, and honey. Bladder. Alright, anything else that I have missed? Oh, there's that. Powder and tar. Take that cloth. Ooh, how do I get over here? Oh, I just walk there. Okay. Some herbs. Ooh, 28 valuables. Tar, cloth, and powder. Wood and caltrops poison. Meat and extracts. Powder, grease, and meat. Jeez, so much meat. Alright, let's see. These were... Yeah, those were owned. Okay. Alright, well, let's talk to some of the merchants over here. A young boy stands before a stall packed with crates and baskets full of bent and broken metal, pelts rolled up and haphazardly stacked, and coils of hemp rope and horsehair string, and other pieces of unidentifiable junk. He beams when you come near, and casts a glance at his father in the back of the tent, who motions encouragingly in your direction.
Highly estimable field maiden, welcome to our humble tent. My name is Gnipli. How may I serve you today?
Oh, esteemed. I missed that part. Okay. He's got a little bit of a... Would you be able to chop up an old ship for us? You sell hides and salvage? Aren't you a little young to be in charge here? You sell hides and salvage?
That's right. What you see before you is Ribe's most impressive selection of material for smithing, tailoring, or even, The
boy's father chuckles quietly from the back. Carpentry.
Or even carpentry. Do you like to build things?
Not myself, but I count skilled craftsmen among my friends. I know how to hold a hammer. Go with that first one. The child's father sneaks up behind him.
The thegn is being modest, I think. I visited Scairn. I know you'd be a skilled craftswoman.
Really? Am I? I might have put some points into that. I'm not sure. I don't remember. The boy's eyes grow wide.
You're a thegn?
That's right.
If you're looking for high-quality supplies, you'll find none better than what we offer.
Aren't you a little young to be in charge here?
It's not a problem. Dad's right back there. I'll get him if there's trouble.
The boy changes the topic so fast you almost get whiplash.
What's your name?
I'm Elmandretta. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Elmandretta.
Of course, I'm sure if you put an S in your name, that he would have gotten it right. Would you be able to chop up an old ship for us? The kid blinks a couple of times. Then he turns around to look at his father.
Well, sure,
I suppose. We haven't done that kind of thing before, but it should be a straightforward job. What kind of pay do you have in mind?
I get 100 wood. You keep half the wood. Ship the rest up to Scairn. Pay 500 valuables, get 200 wood. I'll have to think about that. Sure, anything else we can offer you? Let's see what you have. Alright, so he has quite a bit of wood. He has salvage. Vendor has fair prices. He has valuables. His hides. Let's see, wood for 1 salvage for 13 wood. That's low demand, wow. Low demand, normal demand. 7 valuables for 1 wood. I'm not going to trade right now for any of that. Alright, perhaps some other time. Alright, it is about time to end the episode, though. When we come back, we're going to talk to the other people here in the market. Maybe someone else will have a better price for us. I'll see you next time, everyone.